Hello friends and greetings for today. Welcome back to another tutorial on ISTQB Foundation Level certification. We are in chapter 2 talking about testing throughout the SDLC, and as a part of this particular chapter, today we are moving into 2.3, which is maintenance testing. And as a part of maintenance testing, we'll just give a quick introduction to what it is all about and how it is conducted in the industry. Well, to begin with, the maintenance testing is just a concept or after release testing which is conducted every time we make a common change or any sort of change to an existing application. Now, the word maintenance is being defined as enhancement to an existing live application. That means the applications which are operational, it is with the end users, people are using it, and it is right in production. And of course, there are many things which remain undone or things which you plan probably after releasing that, hey, they could be, we can do better. And you keep collecting consistently information and feedback from the real users in order to understand what better we can do. And that's what I refer to as enhancements. So whenever we do these enhancements to an existing live application, we call it as maintenance. And this certainly happens post-release, but every single maintenance triggers a regression test. That is in turn called as regression testing or maintenance testing as well. So maintenance testing is actually everything about regression testing whenever you make an enhancement to an existing live application. But of course, there's a lot of story related to it, and we will deep dive one by one to understand what is more we can know at this point of time about regression or maintenance testing. So let's look into what exactly the syllabus has to count on us. That is, number one, there are different categories of maintenance. One, it can be corrective, adaptive to changes in the environment, or to improve the performance, or even maintainability. Now here we have got few words. Number one is corrective. That means you did something wrong, probably a known bug which you had pending being remaining from some time, and certainly you're trying to fix them. You're looking forward to have some of the updates which are happening, like improvement, updates, enhancements, etc., or things which are just related to the new features which you want to give people about it. So maintenance testing is just not limited to kind of like, doing enhancements. These enhancements further can be related to bug fixes, planned changes, unplanned changes, etc. Also to add here, we would like to say, so maintenance is just part, like when it comes to maintainability, we say maintenance can involve planned releases or deployment, or even unplanned releases or deployments. Plans are those which are remaining from our past release. For example, some of the requirements are generally not fulfilled due to crunch of time or probably due to complications, and we need more time to understand how to implement them. So just because of one or two requirements or one or two simple features, we just don't block or restrict the release to happen. So in that context, or we don't delay the release at all. Rather, we hold these two features and then release the product to the market, and we continuously keep working on these pending ones and we just put it across. So when we talk about these which were pending, which we knew already, we call them as planned releases, or unplanned are the one which are like suddenly something popped up which we saw or maybe our real users saw and they reported to us and we're just working on it. So this was not as a part of the plan, but we found it. So we even call it as hot fixes. So hot fixes are basically unplanned ones, which you generally get them, right? So further to add on this note, we have impact analysis, which is basically a study to identify the areas which will be impacted by the change. Let me just add a quick thing before we look into the impact analysis statement, that impact analysis is a very wonderful study which helps you reduce your effort on doing better testing. Because see, for example, if you have a mature live application in the market, you may have even 100,000 or 2,000, 3,000 test cases. But when it comes to regression test suite, you may have around, say for example, 500 test cases. But when the applications are pretty huge, you may have even 1,000 test cases as a part of your regression test suite. Now, the question is, if I make a simple small change in one part of the application, do I really need to run all 1,000 test cases? Absolutely yes or no, both, right? Some of you might be thinking that yes, it is mandatory to make sure that everything is working fine. And some of you would say, yeah, it looks very hectic. So I don't think it would be really required to run all 1,000 test cases, because you're just making a change in one corner of the system, right? And yes, that's true. So impact analysis is a technical study which helps you understand that which areas of the application will be impacted by the change, so that you can reduce your effort on the amount of regression testing. Assume that you're doing weekly changes. It's very hectic to run 1,000 test cases every week, right? Even if you're talking about automation, it's not so easy. So I certainly conduct impact analysis to identify the areas which will be impacted by the change, and then only do that execution. Now, further to read this statement, let's have a look here. So impact analysis may be done before a change is made to help decide if the change should be made based on the potential consequences in other areas of the system. So impact analysis basically is the study, but I think this statement looks a little tricky to follow, but trust me, that's not what it means. So I'm making it simple for you, okay? Let's continue further. We do have something else. Testing the changes to a system in production includes both evaluating the success of the implementation of the change and the checking for possible regressions in parts of the system that remain unchanged, which is generally the main part of maintenance, which is to check for regressions introduced. Also, to add here, the scope of maintenance testing typically depends on the degree of risk of change, the size of the existing system, and the size of change. Of course, when it comes to degree of risk of change, it talks about that how much risk is involved in making this change, what other areas will probably be brought down, or people will be experiencing some kind of delay or kind of unavailability of a particular feature and so on. So that certainly becomes one of the criteria for us to talk about. The second one here is the size of existing system. Of course, I told you that already, that what if you have a very big application, you may have 1,000 test cases and not everything is actually connected to every feature. But if everything is connected to every single feature like LinkedIn, Gmail, you can go from anywhere to anywhere, any link to any link. So we will still have to do. So the size of thing certainly will trigger the scope of regression testing or maintenance testing. And the third one, of course, is the size of the change, because the change, what you do, depends on further relies and says that what areas will be actually impacted. So one way put together, the risk, the change, what you're doing, and the size of the application altogether contributes about scope of regression testing. So one should consider. However, in organizations, we have a dedicated team. That's why this is a very small topic. And we have a separate team conducting maintenance testing. So you don't have to worry about being a regular tester. You do testing pre-release, and there's a dedicated team in the organization which conducts maintenance testing. But depends on the size of organization and the maturity level too. Also, to quickly add here, we are also talking about what triggers the maintenance testing. That means what are those things which we generally conduct in order to do maintenance testing, or what are those changes we are talking about? What are those enhancements we are talking about? So three major things right here on your screen. We have modifications, upgrades or migrations of the operational environment, or retirement. So let's talk about them one by one. When I talk about the modification, includes updates. Now, of course, there are four terminologies here: update, upgrade, migration, retirement. Update certainly talks about the minor changes to an existing feature. That means the people are already using it and we just trying to make it better, or trying to add something more to those existing features which people are already using. So you can just compare an update on your cell phone related to a mobile application or to your operating system. So if you're talking about 15.0, that's one of the releases. If you talk about 15.1, 15.2, 15.3, or 3.1, 3.2, and so on, these are all referred to as updates. But when I migrate or move from 15.0 to 16.0, that's an upgrade. Okay, so that means there's something new which is being introduced which was never before. So updates will only have enhancement to the existing features, whereas upgrades will have new addition to the existing features. That means something new is being introduced for the first time, and you need to know that. So updates generally do trigger maintenance testing, and upgrades also trigger maintenance testing. So whenever you do update and upgrade, maintenance testing is required. The third important thing here is migration. So if I talk about migration in a nutshell, the migration is all about moving an application from one platform to another platform, and these are quite often being conducted. So say for example, today you're working on Windows, but tomorrow you decided to move to Linux or Ubuntu or any other software, then these products will conduct a maintenance test to make sure that my product is able to migrate and work the same way. That means all the features are still working fine. So certainly migrations do happen at different point of time, and these are very important to be conducted. Or even if you're moving your application, initially you started with Android, but later you decided to go to iOS. Of course, you don't build an application right from scratch, right? So you just do a migration test, and that is maintenance testing again, to make sure that everything is working absolutely fine. And the last one is retirement. Of course, many people might be thinking, retirement? Do you really need to do any testing? We just retire the product, right? No. Retirement versions of an applications are the final versions of the product. That means there will be no update, no upgrade, or no new releases happening on this. This is the last release on this product lifecycle. And generally, they announce it in advance. And of course, the retirement version certainly have some kind of new features or probably existing combinations to build it up as a releasable version. So it's just not that you release something and then announce that it is retiring. No, you announce it and then release it. So you will have something new to talk about. So all of these will trigger a maintenance test because it involves a change. So let's quickly have a look here again once what we are trying to talk about. So the triggers for maintenance testing and maintenance testing can be classified as follow. Number one, modification such as planned enhancement, which are release based, corrective changes, or hot fixes, which is hot fixes is unplanned changes. Upgrades or migration of the operational environment, such as from one platform to another, which can require tests associated with the new environment, as well as the change software or test of data conversions when data from another application is migrated into the system being maintained. And the last one is retirement, such as when an application reaches the end of its life. When a system is retired, then this can require testing of data archiving if long data retention periods are required. Testing of restore and retrieval procedures after archiving may also be needed in the event that certain data is required during archiving period. So put together a small topic which wanted to introduce you to maintenance testing, because someone into testing should know this word and understand it. So that's the reason they introduced it. But of course, there's a deep dive into maintenance testing. Suppose you are a maintenance tester, you would have certainly more deeper knowledge required in order to perform that, right? So anyways, that's all from this particular tutorial team. That was the last topic what we had from chapter 2, and we'll be looking at the sample questions from here in the next. So that's all from this particular tutorial team. Should you have anything else, feel free to comment below. I'm always there to address your queries and answer them well. Till then, keep learning, keep exploring, keep understanding the context. Thanks for watching the video, team, and happy learning.